Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome to Transfer Deadline Day. We are talking about the mighty Reds, Liverpool's transfer deadline day. Is anyone coming in? Who knows? We will let you know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. We'll also tell you, of course, news about Fabio Carvalho. Hopefully, that deal will get over the line, of course, and outings as well. Will Nat Phillips, Divock Origi, Takumi Minamino, and others, and Neco Williams as well. Will he also be leaving as well? We will have all the big details for you guys anyway. But if you could do me the favor and please feel free to leave a like on the video. It's very much appreciated as always. Please hit that subscribe button as well if you're new and watching for the first time. And please hit that notification bell as well to remind yourself when we go live or post a video. And let me know, guys, your thoughts in the comment section down below about, the Liverpool's transfer, January transfer window, and of course the deadline day as well. But Johnson saying, big up, mate. Hope you're well up the Reds. Yeah, doing fantastic. Thank you, mate. Of course, if you know it's the yellow bar at the bottom of the screen, you know it's transfer deadline day. Anyway, and look, what a time to be alive, isn't it? Liz is in. Hello, Liz, saying hi, Connor and chat. Hello, everyone. Like I did say, please feel free to like and share the stream as well. Very much appreciated, as always. But let's get in then to, of course, the news that all of you are wanting anyway. And if there is any breaking news, please feel free to put it in the comment section down below, just in case I miss it, knowing me. But of course, Paul Joyce yesterday putting out a tweet saying Liverpool's £5 million offer for Fabio Carvalho allows him to stay at Fulham for the rest of the season. Now, of course, there was whispers and rumours yesterday that, of course, Liverpool were going to sign him. It was going to be a done deal, and so on. And, it would be all confirmed today, and so on. And look, we've said about it, we did a video on him. It was going to be, a phenomenal signing. I think it still could be a phenomenal signing. But you look at it, for me, I think the deal could be in a bit of jeopardy, but we will speak about that in a little bit longer. But £5 million, he's out of contract in the summer. Liverpool don't want to go to the tribunal, like with Harvey Elliott, for example. We don't want that to happen again. So we want to get the deal done and dusted now. And it did look like that for a big period, anyway. But John saying, hi Liz, I hope you are well. Jade's in as well. Hello, Jade. Saying, hi Liz, just seen Phillips gone to Bournemouth. Yep, he has gone to Bournemouth. We will speak about that in a little bit. Hi, John. I'm good. How are you? And all of you speaking to each other in the chat. But looking at it, looking at the deal, it looked a pretty simple one. Fabrizio Romano as well did tweet out, if I can get his tweet up for you guys anyway, saying that the deal was in its final stages. Anyway, if I can get that up for you, there it is. He did say on Twitter, talks between Liverpool and Fulham for Fabio Carvalho will now enter the final stages. €7 million proposal on the table, confirmed, but strategy of the deal to be discussed, payment terms, installments, and more. Fulham want Carvalho to stay on loan until the end of the season. Now, Liverpool. Now, what we do know is that Liverpool have said that if we was to sign him, he would go back out to Fulham on loan for 6 months to finish the Championship season there, and then would join Liverpool on the 1st of July. To have finished the season, hopefully with Fulham getting up into the Premier League. And for me, you look at it, you look at the deal itself, £5 million. If it's €7 million, it's around £5.8 million. Of course, installments will be in there anyway. And for me, it's a good deal either way. Fulham would be getting pretty much that. Of course, Liverpool would want the deal now, not in the summer, because of course, plenty more teams will be coming after him in the summer. The likes of Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, because of course, Fabio Carvalho, he has a phenomenal ceiling above him, and he does, according to Fulham fans, is better than what Harvey Elliott was before he joined, anyway. But the one thing I will say, Doug, if you want to join, and I've seen Doug there, if anyone does want to join, then the link is in the video description down below. If anyone does want to join, I will say please be respectful, please be well behaved. and you could say. But if anyone does want to join, even if it's for a quick 10-minute, 15-minute, half an hour, whatever you want, please feel free to come on and have your say about the transfer. Anyway, but if we quickly scroll on to today, and the news of today anyway, I think, do we have it here? Yep, Neil Jones saying it here. This was about 3 hours ago from now anyway. If I quickly get it up on stream, it says, new as it stands, Liverpool £5 million bid for Fabio Carvalho has not been accepted by Fulham. There's a feeling the player might wait until the summer to assess his options, and that was from Neil Jones anyway. But from what it's understood anyway, it looks like that Fulham have rejected the £5 million bid and want around £15 million for him. It hasn't been confirmed by official sources, but the early rumours and whispers is that they want around £15 million for Fabio Carvalho. Now, Liverpool are obviously not willing to pay that. I believe it's probably going to be around 8-9 million Liverpool would push to, I think, at least, but definitely not 15 million. And I know that Doug was very angry when I did say that on the stream just now, but it is, of course, plenty of time. I will say this, there is still plenty of time for the deal to be done. But at the present moment in time, the longer it goes on, the less likely it is that Liverpool will sign anyone on transfer deadline day. We aren't going after anyone else for that, but what it does look like that if we can't get that done, it will be no deals in for transfer deadline day for Liverpool. Anyway, hello Ben as well, saying my favorite YouTuber. Thank you Ben for that. Douglas the Lionheart, Lionheart, I should say. Hello fella, says Ben. Liz says hi to Ben. Jade saying hi to Doug, and of course hello Liz as well. But guys, let me know your thoughts about Fabio Carvalho. Yeah, the Carvalho. At least I didn't say Cannavaro this time, but Carvalho. Let me know your thoughts. £15 million, is that too much for a player that has a massive ceiling above him? Looks like plenty of European clubs have been very much interested in him. Like we did say, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona have looked at him, from what we know anyway, and also as well, there's probably plenty of Premier League teams interested in him as well. For me, I think that around 8-9 million, I think Liverpool would be pushing at it, to be awfully honest with you. If it is 15 million and Fulham won't budge from 15 million, then I think Liverpool will move away from it and potentially look at then, of course, a deal then in the summer. But of course, like we did say, Liverpool do not want to go to the tribunal like we did with Harvey Elliott. We don't want to go through that process again of a couple of months in a court and trying to figure out how much Liverpool have to pay anyway. But Data's in as well. Low Data saying, I would walk away from him. If he has to wait for the summer to consider his options, he is not right for LFC. I would absolutely agree with that. As well, 15 is too much, says Liz. Anyway, and yeah, I would agree. £15 million for Carvalho is way too much, especially for someone that you look at it and go, he won't break into Liverpool's team straight away. He is very much a youth product in that sense. But, with 6 months left on his deal as well, there's no way he's worth £15 million for that anyway. But we'll go back to Carvalho anyway. If there is any breaking news, please do let me know in the comment section, guys. I know that Dele Alli is on his way to the Ev. I know that, of course, Lampard is the new manager, which Tom... we'll be taking the mick out of Tom later on. Of course, we are live at 8 o'clock as well tonight. It's probably going to be 8 till 11 maybe, or 8 till 10 maybe. We haven't figured that out yet. But if anyone wants to join me for that, then please let me know in the comments, or let me know on Twitter anyway. But of course, people have mentioned it in the comment section down below. But of course, Liverpool do have their first outgoing of this January deadline day anyway. Bournemouth are looking to sign Nat Phillips, the Liverpool centre-back, on loan for the rest of the season. Phillips will have regular football and Liverpool will receive a loan fee. Bournemouth are also interested in right-back Neco Williams. Now, Bournemouth, they do look like they are very much busy in this deadline day. Apparently, they're already looking about 3 or 4 players in the door, but it is confirmed just before I went live that Nat Phillips has gone to Bournemouth. He is signed. He was pictured in a Bournemouth kit as well, so the deal is done and dusted. And look, I hope Nat does absolutely brilliantly. Am I surprised a little bit? Yes, I am. I'm very much surprised that Nat Phillips has gone to a championship club. For me, I think he's pretty much a Premier League centre half. I think he can do a job pretty much everywhere else in the Premier League. It's just the fact that it's a shock, realistically, that he's gone to a championship club. But when you actually take a step back and look at it, Bournemouth currently third in the championship. They're after that automatic promotion to the Premier League, and Scott Parker as well. Did a pretty decent job, I would say, at Fulham. I know they did get relegated, but you could see the development there. Has gone to Bournemouth and done pretty well there as well. And look, if Nat Phillips can have a successful 6 months, we've seen, how highly regarded Nat Phillips was at Stuttgart. Stuttgart apparently were very interested in bringing him in full time before, of course, last season we needed him. We didn't want to let him go for obvious reasons last season. But of course, this season, not much, apart from the masterclass at the San Siro, we haven't needed Nat Phillips' services. And look, from what it is, Nat Phillips is the one that got us Champions League football last year. Him and Reece Williams, anyway. But of course, speaking of Reece Williams, he will be at the club now. Well, I think anyway, as 5th choice centre half, as well. So of course, kind of a replacement for Nat Phillips. But I look at it. If you can have a successful 6 months at Bournemouth against the Premier League, then they'll probably want to buy Nat Phillips then permanently. Do you then go £15 million there? Time will tell with that. But I think if he does have a successful move to Bournemouth, I think he might stay there permanently for next season as well, especially if they get into the Premier League. But let me know, guys, your thoughts in the comment section down below. Ben's gone thoughts on Lampard for F. Lad, it's laughable. I think that Ryan won't like me. Well, actually, Ryan might like me for this, but Ryan and Tom, for me, I think Frank Lampard, he's not suited to Everton. Give it a big Duncan for the rest of the season. Anyway, Ndombele on loan to Lyon. If anyone cares, yep, I did see that before we did go live. Bit of a weird one, isn't it? Antonio Conte not wanting Ndombele in his team. Dele Alli as well, not wanting him in there as well. I think that's a very strange one. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, for 50 million, I'd probably still do the deal. Young guy, got what it takes. He's going to be a 40-50 million pound player in a few years, mate. Yeah, I get that, but for me, I think that realistically, they are looking at trying to get their payday. Then I would say anyway. For me, I think Fulham recognise they're going to lose him in the summer either way, even if they get Championship football or Premier League football. It's most likely going to be Premier League football. But for me, I think it's pretty much looking at it. Will it happen? Will it be that thing where you look at it and go, do we need him now? No, I don't think we do. So you just wait for 6 months. But of course, like we said, Liverpool don't want to wait for that tribunal in 6 months. We don't want to be in that same position as we was with Harvey Elliott. And for me, I think if Liverpool are going, and if Julian Ward, Michael Edwards going, look, we've tried, we can't do it, fair enough, we'll go and look for someone else. I'm perfectly fine with that, but it will be a big miss, I would say, because again, it happens to then bring in talent, and whether or not if Liverpool could get another guy in anyway of that quality. To be fair, I agree, Liz, but I'd rather get him now than have to pay 40-50 million in 3 or 4 years' time, if not more. Just look at Bellingham. Yep, that is true. That is very true, John. And to be fair, I want Jude Bellingham in the summer. John, you know I want Jude Bellingham in the summer. Spurs have well and truly bottled this transfer window. Couldn't even secure swap for. Yeah, I did see that. And look, Spurs and Arsenal for me have had the worst transfer window in the Premier League. which is funny. Hello Dodds, or Ryan Dodds anyway, saying Jesse Lingard, young English talent. For God's sake, lad, no, no. Like, what's he gonna do? Get a future stars card? Is that what we're saying? No, no, absolutely not. He's not. Well, reportedly, it is going to be between Newcastle and West Ham for Jesse Lingard. So that'll be interesting. Ryan, you're the funny one. Says hello anyway, and Data with a grin across his face. Anyway, Liz says United hasn't been United haven't been stellar. No, it hasn't. Look, I think look, it's been shit. I heard Connor is saving up his pennies to pay for Jude's flight himself. Skulls, Jack, you know, like between me and Makendo, we will get the deal done with Jude Bellingham. You just know it, but of course, time will tell with that. Anyway, Spurs couldn't even sign the non-league lad FSA. Yep, that is true. That is absolutely true. They could not agree a deal to sign a non-league striker. Connor, we all want a bite off. Hey, Jude, mate. Yeah, no, I know, but. I seen something funny earlier that people were saying that Liverpool were going after a midfielder. I was like, who's this? Like, I don't know, but no, the incomings part of it today is just practically that. It is just whether or not Liverpool can get in Fabio Carvalho now, and that is it. Then pretty much it is the outgoings. Will Divock Origi get a chance? We will have news about Divock Origi in a moment anyway. Takumi Minamino, Neko Williams. Neko Williams, I would be surprised if he did leave now. I would think that, there'd be some watching him and, and some talk about him going. At the minute, we just read out the chat about, Nat Phillips in, Bournemouth apparently being interested in Neko Williams. But apart from that, there hasn't been anyone else that has been talking about for Neko Williams, which, it's a bit sad realistically because I think now he looks at it and goes, I'm not going to get ahead of Trent, no way whatsoever. I can't get an opportunity here. I'm going to have to go somewhere else. And you look at it, and I've seen plenty of people going, oh, the World Cup and all like that for Wales and that. For me, I think that's a load of nonsense. I don't think he has to be playing regular football to, of course, to keep up fitness. Yeah, 100%, but not to be, the number one guy at there. I think he's pretty much going to go to the World Cup either way. You look at it. But for me, I think that he will have to move on at one stage, whether or not that being now or in the summer. Anyway, but and everyone goes on about what an amazing businessman Levy is. Yeah, Dan Levy, the number one guy for that. Anyway, Jamie's in as well. Afternoon, fella. Hello, Jamie. Hopefully you're having a fantastic afternoon, my friend. If anyone does want to join, like I said, Jamie, if you want to join, or if anyone else wants to join as well, please feel free to. It is in the video description down below. The link is there. Like I do say, please be respectful and don't be stupid. That is the only thing I do wish upon if anyone does join. But yeah, if anyone does want to join, then please feel free to have you say about the Reds' transfer deadline day business. Anyway, I agree. Bellingham is ours next window. Yeah, I think he is 100%. I'm hearing Carvalho wants Dortmund. That is the other rumor that is going around. Apparently, Borussia Dortmund have had their say in Carvalho's here. I'm hoping that's not true, to be fair, but there is the latest rumor. Anyway, Jamie, I saw that too, though. Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, fingers crossed anyway. Neko has the rest of his career ahead of him. A move from us could make or break that career. If he wants to take that risk, then that's down to him. Yeah, 100%. And Ben also saying, I'd join, but I require payment for my... What are you, Fabrizio Romano? Like, no, Ben. I'm not giving you anything, my friend, to be fair. But look, it is interesting to see what does happen with Neko Williams. I would like him to, I know that Swansea and Cardiff were linked, but I think that's just because of the Wales thing. I think realistically, if he can have a high-end championship or, Premier League move, then I think, of course, that would be the best for him. I know Southampton were very interested in him before they did sign that new that right back, and they now have as well. So, it's just missed opportunities, I think, for him anyway. But we did say we did have some news about Divock Origi as well for you, and we do, if I can quickly find it anyway. But we do have some news, and that is that, if we can quickly get it up for you, there we go. So the news is on Divock Origi that Atalanta are showing interest in Divock Origi if Duvan Zapata moves to Newcastle today. This is from Paul Joyce as well, of course. All, the Anfield talk, pushing forward in any way. In terms of ins, Liverpool are still trying to sign Fulham winger Fabio Carvalho for 5 million. The 19-year-old remains at Fulham for the rest of the season. We already know that. But Atalanta interested in Divock Origi. This rumor was also going around yesterday as well. I think pretty much, Newcastle are very much looking for a striker. I think they've already tried twice or three times to get a striker in, apart from Chris Wood as well this season. I think, look, if you're looking at someone, look at Divock Origi for Newcastle. I would be shocked if Newcastle didn't go serious for Divock Origi. But apparently Zapata is on their list anyway, and it would be interesting, to be fair. Anyway, but I have seen Ben's comment of £8.50 an hour and a £10 service charge. Again, who are you? You're Fabrizio Romano. Get in the bin. I really hope Ericsson has much success. Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to mention this on tonight's stream, but of course, for me, signing of the window for Christian Eriksen, him coming back to football, a massive, massive, deal. Then I would say, of course, him completing a Premier League medical as well. That is huge news, I would say, anyway. And look, for me personally, I wish him all the best. I hope he goes to the World Cup in the summer as well with Denmark, and I think he will as well. But they have said they are going to ease him in anyway. But I hope Christian Eriksen has a fantastic time at Brentford, because I hope he does do well as well from what has happened, of course, since the summer. Anyway, Lampard in the Championship next season, potentially. It is potential. Ericsson rather, damn it, autocorrect. Yeah, I know what you meant. To be fair, Liz, anyway. But Data says, I would keep Origi till at least the summer. He scores crucial goals when coming late. That is true. That is very, very true. Let me take a quick sip of that. That is true. I would also agree with that. I think that realistically, you look at our attack at the moment. What we got. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, Bobby Firmino, Luis Diaz, Taki Minamino, Divock Origi, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. If you can add him to that, I don't think you can really, but that's 8 players there. Or if you take Ox away, 7 players of quality there. And for me, I think you look at it, and Liverpool have the best attacking lineup in the league, I would say, or not even the league. I would say probably in Europe. I couldn't think of one that potentially Real Madrid next season, but in terms of this season, I can't think of anyone, to be awfully honest, though, who can match that. I would say personally, anyway. In terms of quality, within the squad, it's going to be fun to watch Lampard implode at Everton. Well, and Data says insurers. The thing is, he has to hit the ground running for me. He has to hit the ground running. If he doesn't, then Everton Championship. Here we go. I'm just, if that happens, Jesus Christ, we're all gonna have a laugh. Hannah says that Ancelotti couldn't save Everton. Rafa couldn't save Everton. I doubt Lampard will either. Will be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's almost like a problem isn't the manager. Look, we will have Everton fans on here at one stage, this season, and they pretty much agree with that. Of course, it is upstairs, majorly at Everton anyway. Ancelotti done wonders with the squad. He had attracted top class players. If he stayed at the Ebb, he could have gotten them somewhere, maybe Ben. But it did last for 12 months, and that was it. So we move. No, it was about 18 months on it, but yeah, he was never going to stay. When Real Madrid come knocking around again, He was never ever going to stay. Anyway, keep the strength. We have to add to it where we can. Yeah, exactly. Seems to be that Ward and Edwards are doing. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing where, you know, you're looking at Phillips. For me, I would, you know, I would have been gutted to have like let Nat Phillips go completely. I think, look, it's the right thing to do because he deserves first team football. But you know, you have to recuperate money. Liverpool didn't want to loan out Nat Phillips this window. They didn't. They wanted to sell him for about 15 million. Then you look at it and go, well, you know, a loan deal. And like I said, if Liverpool can, you know, if Nat Phillips, I should say, can have a fantastic spell at Bournemouth, then, you know, it's more than less than likely they would sign him then for the summer. And for me, I think that, look, he could, you know, do a fantastic job there. I think he will do a fantastic job there because, like I said, I think he's a Premier League centre back going to a Championship club. And for me, I think he'll do fantastic there. Anyway, but John says we have the best front five in world football, Connor. Yep, we do. We absolutely do. The Fabulous Five, says Liz. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree, guys. Ancelotti reasons for leaving ran far deeper than I am. Real Madrid calling for him again. Yeah, that is true. I would agree with that. But again, it's that thing where you look at it and go, he was never ever going to stay for a long period anyway. But guys, if you have enjoyed, then please feel free to leave a like on the stream. It's very much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new and you know, watching for the first time, because I do very much appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, and the notification bell as well, because YouTube don't like notifications for some reason. But you know, guys, please share out the stream as well. We very much appreciate it as well. We're not going anywhere, of course. We will be live for an hour, or about an hour anyway, but I am checking anyway, and of course it is now confirmed. If I quickly get it up on stream for you guys anyway, of Nat Phillips, he is in a Bournemouth shirt. If I can find it anyway, but at the minute it does look like that there's no real movement, to be fair, in terms of Takumi Minamino. Everything has gone quiet on that front as things stand. There was rumours, of course, Leeds a couple of days ago, but does look like that, you know, that is completely off the table now in terms of being completed. It was rumoured around £17 million was getting talked about for Leeds and Takumi Minamino, but that is now again off the table. Leeds haven't even been rumoured with Minamino all day anyway. But you know, there we go. Big old Nat Phillips in a Bournemouth kit. Of course, the deal is confirmed. If you actually go on Bournemouth's Twitter, they actually got him reacting to the Cruyff turn against AC Milan, which, you know, is kind of an AC Milan kit. I did say, to be fair, I like that as well. But I did say I could see him at, you know, potentially going to an AC Milan or something like that anyway. And, you know, he's kind of gone to it. He's gone to Bournemouth anyway. But, you know, good luck to Nat Phillips anyway. I think he'll do a phenomenal job, like we have discussed. And for me, I think he will for sure. You know, be fantastic, and hopefully gets up to the Premier League as well. But look to the show. Looking forward to the show, mate. I think that's for later. Anyway, if Lampard was an animal, he would be a donkey. Potentially. We do have a special guest, and his name is Douglas. Hello.
Hello. How are you? Long time no speak.
I am very good. Yeah, no, we were, of course, live for about 2 hours on your channel. Well, first of all, I'll ask you about, of course, your thoughts about Fabio Carvalho and the deal potentially going through, falling through, I should say. Anyway, you know, what are your thoughts? You know, £15 million is reportedly being the asking price now. Too much money?
Way too much. You know, I think we've done well to get Luis Diaz a deal that we can actually say that's a very, very good deal. 37.5 million plus 12.5 million in add-ons. 15 million for Carvalho. I mean, Fulham were wanting 5 million, and now they just seem to be playing games with us. I think, look, Carvalho is probably going to go. I think it's simple as that. He's definitely going to go in the summer. But 15 million with what, about 4, 5, 6 hours of the window remaining, I just don't see it personally.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either. But it's one of these ones, wasn't it? I know that John did mention, if Liverpool, should Liverpool just go all out for him, because of course we hope will be one of the best signings, around. We've got lucky before in the Championship. Andy Robertson, for example,
Yeah.
being a huge part of that. But do you think, if the deal does collapse now, do you think Liverpool will go back for him in the summer, or do you think that, what's been reported is, the tribunal, Liverpool don't want that? Do you think Liverpool might change their mind though and go, look, we want him, we'll go all the way for him?
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of I think it's a fracture. I think it's safe to say a fractious relationship between Fulham and Liverpool when it comes to that as well. But I think it's one that's probably worth going for in the summer. Whether or not we get him is another matter. I've just seen now Bournemouth are having a busy day. They've just signed Todd Cantwell from Norwich on loan, which is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Apparently, he was meant to be going to the Premier League, but that's now got Bournemouth have had couple of crazy. I mean, they do like getting players off us. I remember when they got Brad Smith and Jordan Ibe and Dominic Solanke. Oh, those were the days. But to be fair, Nat Phillips, no nonsense defender, as one of my esteemed subscribers would say, Chris Welsh. No nonsense defender, of course. So I think we will go back in for Carvalho, but whether or not he comes is another matter. But you have to say that if he stays at Fulham, then fair play, because it looks like they're going to be coming up this season. I think they're 6 points ahead in the Championship at the moment, but Bournemouth are making moves. And more news on Bournemouth: Kiefer Moore is expected to have a medical, so that's another player that's going in the Bournemouth. So Scott Parker is not hanging around on deadline day.
Well, Nathan's not going to be happy. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, the big frightening point of this for me is, like you did say there, Liverpool and Fulham, we've got I'd say we got one of those relationships where it's like, don't like each other, but we'll deal with each other type thing.
Feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's like, for me, the big part about this deal was the fact that Fulham was like, we want to keep him for the remaining of the season. We want, the availability of him. Liverpool have gone, fine, okay, we'll buy him for this. I think Fabrizio Romano did say that £5 million plus 2 or 3 million in add-ons, which could have been an option as well. But it seems, by, of course, the rumours, there's nothing official yet from anyone like, James Pearce, Paul Joyce, or, Melissa Reddy, or anything like that. It's the fact that Fulham apparently just don't want to deal with anything like that. They just want 15 million and to keep him for the rest of the season, which is ridiculous in itself.
Yeah,
but it's, it is just ridiculous. But one thing I'll ask you as well, Doug, on the outgoings as well, Nat Phillips, it's Bournemouth, brilliant move. But the other rumour is as well, and it is massively depending as well, what Newcastle are doing this deadline day, with the likes of, they're being rumoured with, people in France, people in Germany. The other thing as well is Divock Origi, and well, in Italy, I should say as well, because of course, Newcastle wants Zapata from Atalanta. Now, Atalanta are reportedly after Divock Origi if he does go. Do we think that there's any movement there? Could you see Divock going to Atalanta?
I think Italy's window closes very shortly. I think they're the same as Germany and Spain. I think their window closes at I think at 6 o'clock. So with an hour and a half to go, probably not. And if being honest with you, so I don't think so. Oh, here we go. It's
I do apologize. How long have you been there?
I've been outside for about 20 years, mate, and no one let me in.
I literally, I'm on I think Twitter, just scrolling, making sure I'm not seeing it. I come by, I just see Jack grinning in the bottom, so I do apologise for that. Anyway.
Just
But of course, we are joined by Jack McAllister. Jack, how you doing, mate?
How you doing, lads? And everyone in chat as well. Hope you're having a good day. It's been a bit of a mad one, but yeah, cheers for having me on, mate. But yeah, it's the news story about Fabio. There's a lot of hearsay at the minute until we do see anything officially confirmed. It could change. It could be a matter of millions, really. And I think if Liverpool want the man, I think they'll go all in for him. And obviously, the fact that we're willing to loan him back to Fulham, I think that's a massive indication that obviously the deal will be struck. But it could be just a matter of lastminute.com in reality, really.
Yeah, no.
Lastminute.com, I like that.
I agree with you on that. But Jack, I'll get your thoughts on Nat Phillips then. Bournemouth, I think it's a real weird one to begin with when you look at it. But as I've said earlier, they Bournemouth are looking for not championship football, for Premier League football, I should say anyway. And by the looks of things, they're going after plenty of people on deadline day. Are you shocked by him going to the Championship, or do you think it's a right move for him to have 6 months in the Championship at a high level, of course, going for automatic promotion, and then if that does go well, like we saw in Stuttgart with Nat Phillips, could a move then be done next summer?
Yeah, most definitely, mate. I think Liverpool will be disappointed. I think a loan move for Nat wasn't the priority for Liverpool. I think if you had to ask Liverpool Football Club, but the fact that he's going to Bournemouth and he will strengthen there, if there's any Bournemouth fans out there, it'll be a massive improvement. And obviously Gary Cahill, he's been playing for him at the back in recent weeks. And if they can get Premier League football, like we spoke about for Fabio as well last night, mate, if he does get loaned back out to them, possibly next season, if both teams, Bournemouth and Fulham, are in the Premier League, Bournemouth will have a lot of money to spend, obviously due to the package in which the TV rights will be getting. And if he's available for 10, 15 million, I think Bournemouth, if he does impress, and I'm pretty sure he will, we've all watched Nat when he has played for Liverpool, especially last season, he's got the tools to very much thrive at Bournemouth. And it's an intriguing one. And Todd Cantwell, just before you come on, mate, speaking, I think that's one of the signings of the transfer window, just due to the fact of obviously the ability of the lad. He's got a lot of potential. I think the last 12 months for Todd have been very disappointing in terms of him not playing, obviously injuries as well. But I think for me, that's massively impressed. He was rumoured years ago to be linked to Liverpool, but I think his development has not really pleased the top clubs if they were in for him.
He's lost his way, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a player that was sort of tipped to be at the top, and I think since sort of coming back into the Premier League, he's just had one of those seasons where just nothing's happened for him. Like you remember the season where he first came into the Prem with Norwich, and he actually had a very, very good season. We all remember like Pookie, Cantwell, Buendia. We all remember that sort of that front three. And actually, if you actually look at it, he has lost his way. He's hardly played as well. I think he's been like knocked out from like Rashika, obviously Pookie, and obviously now Josh Sargent, who I think he needed to move. I'm surprised it's going to Bournemouth, if I'm being totally honest. I think it would have been a Premier League move. I know Newcastle were sniffing around that, but if it's a move that can get him galvanised again and get him playing football again, then so be it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And look, it is a shame what has happened with Todd Cantwell, because like as you two fellas have said, he was being tipped for all the Premier League moves, Liverpool, Tottenham, United, I think, were one stage as well. And hopefully he can restart his career, because I remember the Championship season before, when Norwich got promoted, his numbers were ridiculous and he looked a really, really good player. and fingers crossed as well. But Gary says, has Origi and Taki gone for 70 mil yet? Maybe Origi, but with Newcastle maybe. When's the concert, Liz? As well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Yep, that has just been confirmed by Spurs.
Yeah, I've just seen that as well.
Liz, I think Fulham feel they got burnt on Elliott deal last time and want to get even penny. They can every penny they can. Yeah, Jamie, it's the fact that, you know, remember when we tried to go for Alisson, and Roma were very much you know, angry that we got Mo Salah for 36 million, and, you know, tried to add, you know, I think 90 million I think was the asking price for Ali to begin with, which of course is never going to happen for that anyway. But where's Cantwell gone? He's gone to Bournemouth. You know, very good deal for Bournemouth, I would say. Anyway,
Can I just say something? I'm just seeing the someone's asked what is the best transfer of the window. For me, it's Christian Eriksen, and it's just it's a lovely story for him to be back in you know, playing football. Obviously, there was, you know, the talk of him, I think, training with Ajax, but for him to go to Brentford is absolutely fantastic, because you've got the Danish connection there. You've got obviously manager Frank. You've got, oh gosh, Jorgensen, Lössl, I think Norgard. There's a lot of Danish players there, so the Danish connection is why I think he's gone there. So I just think it's a lovely story that he is back in football after, you know, 7 months away, where we thought he was never going to play football ever again.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think, of course, what happened back in the summer, I think all of us were speaking at the time, and I think all of us were pretty much, you know, scared and shocked at the time, because it was a very frightening thing to watch. And, you know, just for him to be back in the Premier League, you know, passing a Premier League medical exam as well, I think that's the crucial point in this as well. And hopefully, you know, he can have a successful time at Brentford, and, you know, have a successful time with Denmark at the World Cup as well. I think that is a huge deal anyway, and hopefully he does have a good you know, well, good rest of the season. But Jamie says, when we allowed to laugh at Arsenal? Well, of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is no longer going to Barcelona. That deal is completely off, and we should all laugh at Arsenal anyway. But I do feel sorry for Arsenal fans as well. Not Gary, Liverpool should
sorry,
sell,
Glenn.
Yeah, sorry, Glenn. Liverpool should sell Origi to the highest bidder, Newcastle. I honestly wouldn't mind hanging on to Origi.
See, neither would I. You've got Minamino, Origi, Diaz, Jota, Mane, Salah, Firmino. There's a magnificent seven. So all about strength and depth, and that signing of Diaz is going to improve the bench so much as well.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Jack, you know, Aaron Ramsey going to Rangers. Thoughts on that?
Bit of a mad one, that, mate. I was speaking to Doug earlier in the chat, and for me, as I said on Doug's last show, possibly have asked everyone their thoughts if Premier League clubs or certain other clubs in the Championship missed a trick with him, but I'm not too sure. I've not watched Aaron over the last 12 months in terms of if he's been injured. I know in his time at Arsenal, he's very heavily injured. Him in Wiltshire were practically injured most weeks for the Gunners, but when he did have a little run with Arsenal, he's a good player. But it's the thing, you know, looking at like Dali Ali, all these players that they're leaving their parent clubs due to the fact that they've not played a lot of minutes in the last 12 months, and a period in which they've had in current club that they've left. But it's, for me, it's a good sign for Rangers. I think obviously with the likes of Ryan Kent, Tavernier as well, and a load of great midfielders that Rangers have had, and Stevie done well with them prior to him leaving for Villa. They are building a very good team. I think that if he can get fully fit and up and running, he'll be probably one of the best players easily within the SPL anyway, Scottish League. But it's going to be a difficult one, especially if Aaron wants to get back into the World Cup squad or the qualifying for the Euros as well in the coming years' time. It's one of them. It's a sad reality that him and Wilshere, their careers, they were put on such a high pedestal when they were playing for Arsenal, and they've massively deteriorated in terms of reality of their form.
Yeah, well, we are joined by another guest. Hello, Scalzi. How are we?
Evening. Not too bad yourself.
Hello.
He's making his debut on the channel. There we go.
That is true. Yeah, it is a debut on the channel. Like, look, right, I had to make some sort of transfer offer, and it happened. Go Scalzi. I'm kidding.
You got me on a free rather than Ben asking for 8 mil for add-ons.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Ben acting like he's Fabrizio Romano anyway. But Skulls, what's your thoughts so far on Liverpool's business so
Do you
far?
know what? Considering that I came in this month thinking, oh, it's going to be in January, we don't sign players in January. And we've pulled out Luis Diaz and we've had speculation with a load of other players. And I think Bellingham now is more cemented for the summer rather than being at the start of the season. It was more of an idea, and now it's like it's looking more and more likely. With Origi, I think bringing in the players he brought in, and I like the likes of Javier coming back. I just think you sell him now while he's still worth it. If he's not playing, if he gets 1 or 2 games between now and the end of this season, his value, you're going to lose 10, 15 on him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the problem is with Origi is that none of us know really when his contract ends, because there's been talks of, in the summer it's potentially up. I know Neil Jones, I think speaking with Redmen, he did say that that's not the case. It's another year on it, which again, the value is still there, but if it is only 6 months, then it is, of course, we have to sell him now, then realistically, unless, of course, Liverpool are preparing him for another contract, which I don't think is going to happen, especially, with Mo Salah. Of course, we haven't mentioned that today anyway, Mo Salah getting his contract today, get that in the clickbait.
That's what we all thought, Connor, wasn't it? Sorry, lad. That's what we all thought would be January. No, Liverpool signed no one, and then Liverpool, last hour of the window, announced Salah deal just to appease our fan base.
I'm just on the transfer market. According to that, they are pretty reliable. Apparently, his contract's 30th of June this year.
So 6 months left.
6 months left.
Yeah. So you can discuss with a team now and then either go. I think you can obviously go in the summer, but you can talk to clubs now if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, it's like, we look at it, all the lads that we have mentioned, James Milner as well. He'll be leaving on a free in the summer anyway. I think that's pretty much been confirmed. So frees up an English spot in the squad. Hint, Jude Bellingham. As Scalzi said, but it is the fact now that the major point at Liverpool is contracts. Again, we still have Mo's to resolve. Sadio still needs resolving. Bobby Firmino still could be getting one. We don't know. And again, without them as well. You've also got problems like Naby Keita's out of contract in 2025, I believe. Ox is up in 2024. It's telling now whether or not Liverpool will start to let them go and then bring in fresh players. Loads of course, we've all laughed about Interest FC we've turned into over the last 2 years in terms of speculation, but time will tell with that anyway. But I'll go around each one of you. I'll start off with Doug. Who do you think is the most likeliest player to leave Liverpool before the window shuts?
Neco Williams for me.
Okay. Do you think? Where do you think he'll end up?
Well, if you believe the rumours, Bournemouth are having a bit of a mad day. So I think apparently Southampton have been linked. Southampton have been very, very quiet in this window, and I think I would rather Neco Williams go to a Premier League club rather than a Championship club, but. I think Neco Williams will probably leave on loan. I don't think he'll leave permanent. I think he'll probably leave on loan. I think with about 6 hours to go now, I'd be very, very doubtful and say Minamino and Origi are leaving. I don't think either of them are going to leave. So I'll say Neco Williams.
Okay. Skulls? Who would it be for you?
I honestly don't know. I think I always had my hat set on that Phillips being the only one that I'd go. But then the past like 2 or 3 days, you've seen more and more deals come out. I honestly reckon it could be Origi. But as Doug said there with the Times, it'd have to be to a Premier League club. There's not a chance you go in Europe. It'd have to be a Premier League team. But I honestly, put it this way, I wouldn't put money on someone to leave, and I wouldn't put money on no one to leave. It's just I can't call it.
Okay, that's sound. Jack, you in the same boat?
Origi 70 mil to Newcastle last minute.
God's sake.
But you never know. It depends. Like loads of these clubs are desperate, and it's last, as I said, it's last minute. The deals can go right up to the end, and you never know. Things can happen. Developments can happen very quickly. And as Gary said, they're 50 million in Newcastle. Newcastle at this minute will take anyone and everyone. They're that desperate. Even take us for 20 quid at this rate. Because they need so many better players within their squad. And obviously, the Brazilian midfield that they've recently got. Not even going to pronounce that. With the what's
brilliant.
By
the way, I did say earlier that you've got to see Frank Lampard's introduction to Everton. You have to see Nat Phillips. It is absolutely hilarious. He's literally got himself a phone and it's showing him the Cruyff turn away from Kessie and Ibrahimovic, and he's just basically smiling. I think that's brilliant.
I think I have got it here. Let me see if I can find it quickly.
Just a quick one. Apparently, Everton, obviously the Dele Alli thing's been going on all day, but it's now came out that the add-ons are going to reach 40 million if you sign them.
What? Oh my
fucking hell!
Because Everton and Tottenham are in talks about a permanent deal for midfield with Dele Alli that could reach up to £40 million.
What a load of
hopefully that sends them down. That'd be great stuff. Sorry, Tom.
It'll only be 2.5 years as well. That's the contract.
That's one way to get Mashiri on your side.
Or is it get yourself a centre half that crazy game?
That is the best thing I've ever seen live in my life.
Oh yeah, you were at the game, weren't you, mate?
Seen Messi play, seen Ronaldo play, Nat Phillips in the San Siro turning Ibra in half. Beautiful.
It looks like a Milan shirt, that Bournemouth top, doesn't it, though?
Well, we did say he is Maldini in disguise. Like, come on now.
He's playing in black and white, isn't he?
Yeah. But to be
Bolton Brazy, isn't he?
Yeah, but he does say get yourself a centre back that can Cruyff turn like Zlatan. I think that's the best deadline day tweet. To be fair, so fair play, Bournemouth. You've actually done something really good there. But it's a very interesting one anyway. But 40 million for Dele Alli, Jesus Christ. We are truly in the deadline day window anyway. But John says, Ali having a medical at Everton right now. Anyway, agreed. Anyway, Liz. Oh, sorry, Liz. It is pronounced James freaking Milner. I do apologise for that. You can sell Origi for 50 to Newcastle. Very true. Very, very true. Tom's anything. Oi, fellas. Hello, Tom. Hopefully on a fantastic day.
Hello, Tom.
Aren't you, mate?
Yeah. Well, you know, I would say you've had a fantastic day, but then Frank Lampard's just become your manager, so you know, I'm not going to say much. Yes, Scalzi as well. Gary's in saying some of those players will go for free, and then also Tom also saying fake news. But I asked Doug this anyway, and I'll go to Jack first on this. You know, with Fabio Carvalho. £15 million has been whispered all day. You know, I know Fabrizio Romano said that, you know, it would be 5 million in add-on, 5 million and 2 million in add-ons, as well if the deal did go ahead. You know, do you think Liverpool will go up to 15? You know, Doug said no. Could you see it going up to 15, or do you think Liverpool will pull out and then go for it back in the summer?
I don't believe these. I don't even know where these 15 million price tags have originated from. I think it's because
Fulham have rejected the 5 million. I think that's what it is at the minute.
Yeah, well, until like something comes out. I think if Liverpool want to play, as I said on Doug's show and be atop of the show when it comes in, mate. If Liverpool want a player and he's top of their priority list in terms of the young talent bringing into the club. I don't think we'd risk the possibility. I think probably max would go up to would be about 10 million, and I'm not too sure, as we just spoke about last night on the show, how much they do owe us in terms of obviously Harry Wilson. If their fee has been fully paid, I highly doubt it, because they're obviously a team in the Championship and they haven't got the full resources. So in reality, it depends how good the relationship is with Liverpool and Liverpool and Fulham. Obviously, there is a sour grape still in reality of always getting Harvey Elliott for as cheap as we did. In reality, looking at it now, if Fulham are happy to go to a tribunal, but it all comes down to the player, doesn't it, mate, in terms of Fabio. If there has been rumours a lot going on in terms of him thinking with possibly weighing up his options in the summer, possibly going to Dortmund. But if that's the case, then I think Jurgen Klopp, we only want players that want to come to Liverpool and play for Liverpool and play for this great football club. If he's thinking about having second thoughts about going to Dortmund in the summer, fair play, let him go. In reality, I think there'll be a player. In fact, that we've got young players coming through the ranks in terms of the springboard has already been set. In reality, there's been Trent come through, obviously Elliott coming from Fulham into Liverpool's system. Klopp's trusted him, and if he's good enough, he'll get a starting place in Liverpool's squad, no matter your age, really. But it's disappointing, but I think in the next couple of hours, that's the whole beauty of transfer deadline day, mate. A lot can happen. Obviously, we're getting a cheeky 1.5 million off Bournemouth. We could add that onto the total of the 5.5 million bid that we supposedly lodged for Fabio. But yeah, it's intriguing, and that's why first transfer window that I've been excited about for Liverpool, because we're actually doing something.
Well, to be fair, I think it's probably the first January transfer, apart from from like 2011.
Suarez Carroll, was it?
Yeah, like 2011, 2013, around there, because like it's like I think in 2010 or 2011, of course, we signed Suarez, we signed Andy Carroll, and in another Januaries as well, we've gone and signed Phil Coutinho, we've signed plenty of players, Virgil van Dijk, for example, we've also signed in January. Of course, that was a very nice Christmas present, as we know anyway. But Kevin Palmer has tweeted out about, I think it was around 15 minutes ago, or it was nearly an hour ago, I should say, really, saying that Liverpool have made the final push to seal the deal for Fabio Carvalho as well. I think he's pretty much going on to say that Liverpool are trying all they can to get the deal done anyway, hopefully. And there is news about Dele Alli that Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted out, saying Everton and Tottenham are now signing contracts for Dele Alli deal. £12 million after 20 games and bonuses. After 20 games and bonuses, it could reach £40 million depending on performances. So, Jesus Christ!
Well, I love it. They've been absolutely royally ripped off, mate. He'll spend more time streaming on Twitch than me and Scholesy, mate. He's more than asked about Dele Alli. It's like they've already got rid of one Twitch streamer in obviously the Colombian fella, and now he's gone to obviously Qatar. They've signed a new multi-million deal with Twitch. I reckon there's got to be a Twitch sponsor in here somewhere, mate. Dele Alli, the last 12 months, has spent more time on Twitch than he has on a football pitch, and that's facts.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious, to be fair. Andrew's then saying, also, I have an update. Liverpool have made a final push for Carvalho. I feel like we can get this done before 11 p.m. Dele Alli, 40 million. Haha, you can buy a packet of Kit Kats with that. To be fair, you can buy so many Kit Kats with that. Kozaleski to Tottenham loan. I believe that's getting done right now, to be fair. Jamie says 40 million for Ali. I feel for him. It's like British media pundits that overrate him and his ego grew too much. Yeah, I would agree with that. Who is going to buy Minamino? Nobody.
I would have Minamino on my five-a-side team.
But if we did get 20 million, I tell you what, mate, would that be Dominic Solanke's 20 mil?
People know where I stand with Minamino. I'd take 5 for him.
To be fair, if anyone doesn't know, Scholes absolutely, let's say doesn't like Takumi Minamino in the Liverpool squad. But the reports were yesterday that Leeds apparently put in a bid, but there's been no official sources with that anyway. To be fair, the Devil, B Studio says, any truth in TalkSport sources claiming 10 million deal agreed? Do not believe TalkSport for a second.
Talk shite.
Yeah, talk shite. If it's
yes, sorry.
Yeah, apparently, I've just seen Sunderland have re-signed Jermaine Defoe.
I've seen that.
Aaron Ramsey's gone to Rangers as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And you're getting guys like Connor Wickham that used to play for Sunderland as well. Get Connor Wickham back up from here in Sunderland. Be interesting to see.
Connor Wickham's gone everywhere though. I swear he's been like Wigan, Sunderland. He's been like literally up and down the country like for the last like 10 years.
Yeah, Connor, check your DMs. I should just sent you a funny photo of Defoe.
I don't want to.
But yeah, no, I think with the Fulham one and everyone as well, it's good. Something to take a note. Liverpool have got FSG's offices in London, so if there is going to be any negotiating, it'll be Fulham's not that far away from London anyway. It's like 30 minutes, isn't it? So it's very close. The offices to Fulham Stadium. So if any deals, and obviously the medical, as Scholes said, if it's an English side in the Premier League, you can go to a university facility to do a medical. Now the facilities are that good. So I don't think it would be a case of the medical wouldn't take that long, probably max half an hour, 45 minutes. So don't stress too much about it.
The thing I would say is if the deal isn't done by 9 o'clock, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think, look, we could be optimistic. It could be literally Liverpool announce it bang on 11 o'clock. Because I think, as Scorsese said earlier, Liverpool... Like, I know that we've brought out a new training range today, which I think was meant to be the biggest part of our deadline day, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I seen it earlier. I seen Liverpool tweet out about it, and I was like they only want that to be the main focus of today anyway.
That's going to pay for Diaz, that mate. The skin must be skins after that.
But to be fair, he still has to have their training ground tour, to go anyway. Takumi's staying apparently unless this interesting offer comes in. Yeah, that is the case. To be fair, TalkSport apparently just said a deal is close and the fee is 5 million with another 3. Again, don't listen to TalkSport. I'd hope that is the case and hope it is done and dusted. But of course, as Doug said, talk shite. They are exactly that, talk shite.
With the Carvalho deal, I think you've got to work with Fulham in the sense of, they might feel ripped off, but if you try and work with them and say, do you know what, we agreed on 5, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say, right, there's 7, but we'll give you him back and pay his wages, because he's not going to be on a lot. You think you might spend another 3 million on his wages, there's 10, but you're keeping Fulham happy in the same sense. You're going, right, do you know what, we'll give you what you want, we'll save you a bit of money in his wages, but you can have him we're definitely, he's our player. So I think if they start saying 15 mil, I'd say you don't want to get down that line of being petty and going, we'll pay 15, but you're not having them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's fine, the fine line. I always reckon.
No, I agree with that. The thing for me is that Fulham have said that, if any deal was to happen at all, it would have to be the loan back. And Liverpool went, well, from reports and that, they're like, okay, sound, we'll let you go. We'll let you have him on loan for the rest of the season. We'll go from there. Now, I don't know whether or not if this is a player decision to not go to Liverpool or a club decision. Of course, we're talking about rumours here. There's nothing being concrete about it. But Borussia Dortmund's name has been mentioned all day with him. I've already said teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid. He could be just waiting for it, but again, it's like the chat has said, and I think I can pretty much say for all you lads, if he doesn't, if he isn't going, Liverpool after me, I want to go there. For me, he's not a Liverpool player or a player that we would want because he's too. You look at Diaz, for example.
He turned down 3 teams, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Turned down United, Spurs, and Everton, and was like, I want to go Liverpool. and he's come to Liverpool, and I think that's the type of players we're after, not a player that's like, okay, I'm going to hold, you by here, I'll go wait and see what I want, and then I'll decide. Don't think we want a player like that. If that is true, of course, because it is just rumours at the minute anyway. But has anyone seen anything else transfer-wise in terms of Liverpool?
Not Liverpool, mate, but just obviously Barca. I knew soon as I think Tagliafico's fell through now as well. They can't sell anyone. Christ, the fact that Aubameyang, as soon as I see him in Barca, I was like, why are you there? Like I knew we've all heard
it's
for the
another
last 12 months.
it's another
no
Peter.
money.
It's another Peter Odemwingie situation. Like Barcelona did not know he was going to go out there. Apparently Arsenal didn't know either. So that's an ex-Arsenal captain as well. Like honestly, like Aubameyang is a flashy player, one of those kind of players. No wonder Klopp didn't go for him when he had the chance, and quite rightly too.
His wages are stupid. His wages are take up half of Barca, and trying to get rid of Dembele on his wages as well. It's crazy. They can't financially afford it at the minute, can they?
Yep.
Well, it's that, isn't it? It's the fact that they can't.
Oh my God! It's got quite dark in here.
You look at it and you go, like, how does he then recover from that? I would say, how does he come back and plays the second half of the season for Arsenal? Because he's going to do that now unless they get a thing done, out of nowhere. But
his head's an absolute mess, isn't it? Though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like as a player,
that's better.
There was the fact that, as he said, he's gone over to Spain willy-nilly on his own. The clubs had no clue. COVID regulations through the roof as well. It's probably broken a load of protocols in terms of the Premier League clubs, in terms of allowing going border to border. But it's crazy, mate. It just smacks, but it doesn't surprise me because obviously at Dortmund he had attitude problems, and when he has been in Arsenal, I think everyone in the NAN called it that as soon as he signed his new deal with Arsenal, it down tools, and obviously he's had health problems in recent months, but in reality, his attitude, he's 31, 32, close to anyway, that latter stage of his career. It's a shame when you look at a player with such immense ability. When they hit a certain part in their career, they just can't be bothered. And we were joking about Dele Alli as well. He sat there on Twitch, and you're a professional footballer, mate. If any of us four or anyone in chat had anywhere near the ability these players have got, we'd run through a bloody brick wall just to play for any club. But obviously, money turns heads in football, and that's a sad reality in life as well. But it's a shame.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And look, it's we've already had that that type of player in terms of you look at Klopp with Mohamed Sakho. As soon as it happens, Klopp was like, right, get out of the door. Don't want anything to do with you. And that is what ever since, I don't think we've gone for a player that has had that attitude since. In my opinion, it's something that I think that is tremendously done by, of course, the scouting department and that. But of course, if we was to go, I've seen plenty of people going, Ousmane Dembele, for example, Liverpool should be all over that. It's like, not in a million chance Liverpool should ever be around Ousmane Dembele, not just because of the injury record, because of the attitude problems as well in that anyway. But before we do head off then, because there isn't really else much news at the minute. If there is, of course, news, from now until we do stream again later on, of course, we will go back live anyway. But guys, I'll get, I'll ask all of this before we do go. Of course, we did speak about Christian Eriksen being the transfer of the summer, or the window, I should say. Who else has been the signing of the window? If you could pick one that has been, a tremendous signing. Could be value, could be the way they've gone, or anything like that. In your opinion, who has been, it could be Liverpool, it could be, of course, we could also say Diaz if we want to. But, apart from that, who has been the one signing that's caught your eye? I'll start off with Doug first.
I would say Kieran Trippier to Newcastle. I think he's going to improve them massively. I think Newcastle have been needing a defender to just be very, very good defensively. good attacking as well. So I'm going to say Kieran Trippier.
Okay, I can get that. Skulls? Do you have
Coutinho all day.
Very nice.
I think Coutinho is he's still an absolute baller. I'd have him at Liverpool. Or Van der Beek. I think Van der Beek will be boss for the Ev. Sadly, I think he will be. I think he'll really hit the ground running.
No, I agree with you on that. And Jack, do you have anything else?
Yeah, well, I did mention Cantwell before, but that's Cantwell to Bournemouth's mad. Very good deal, especially his Premier League quality, really. But if that's going to want to be Weghorst to Burnley, I think obviously he's not got the goals this season in terms of for Wolfsburg, but in previous years gone by, he's got at least 10, 15 goals within the Bundesliga most seasons. So for me, he's 6'6", exactly what Burnley need. He's a much better quality in terms of obviously Chris Wood. But I think obviously Burnley have pulled Newcastle's pants down with that deal, 25 million for Woods, and then you've just got Weghorst in the back door. So yeah, it's tremendous. And he nearly got is it Orsic as well? But obviously that deal fell through. If they pulled that off, I think that would have been one of the deals of the window. About 5-10 million. He wanted them from Zagreb. So yeah, Weghorst for me, mate, just for the sheer ability of a different style of player. Obviously he's big, but the quality of player that Burnley have. Cornet, the window prior as well. The quality of player that he brought in, it's very unlike Burnley, but I think it's Sean Dyche trying to sprinkle a bit of extra quality. Not part of us football, but where it goes for me.
Well, to be fair, we was meant to be leaving, but we'll leave it 10 minutes so we can roast Tom, because Tom's joined us.
Shefford boys are all good.
I mentioned Van der Beek and he came flying out the woodwork.
Man, Dele Alli maybe come out the woodwork more like.
Dele Alli.
You know what? One thing I've just seen now on Sky Sports, Newcastle apparently have fallen apart. You can't get Dele Alli over the line, and they can't get that Hugo Ekatike, whatever his name is. Apparently that's fell apart completely. So Origi might be on his way anyway.
Time will tell with that. Tom, thoughts on Dele Alli and Frank Lampard and Donny van de Beek?
Well, I'm happy with both all of them, to be fair. With the Dele Alli one, it's all right. Like Scholes did say, I was like fake news, but then I've just seen it then pop up. But in a sense, it's a win-win situation for Everton there, because if he doesn't perform, Tottenham don't take a penny from us. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully he does perform and regenerate himself. I think that's what he's lacking, really. I think he just needs a new club.
So we'll speak about Frank Lampard then. Did you want him as manager? Because I think the only thing he's won is probably an argument with Klopp.
Well, when he's an outfield terrorising him, yeah.
Okay.
I had to put it in there.
To be fair, mate, you know what? To be fair, the fans wanted them, so the board have listened. And regardless what anyone says, everyone says, all right, he flopped the Derby, he flopped the Chelsea. The first year when he was at Chelsea, he done well. He didn't spend no money. I think when it comes to a high budget of trying to buy young players, it kind of, especially Premier League proven as well players, it kind of backfired on him in a sense, because he could have stuck with, like Tammy Abraham. He did bring Mason Mount through and all that. He's good at bringing young players through, and I'm happy that we actually have got him.
Yeah, in terms of Lampard, Tom, as well, he's one of the greatest, if not one of the best English goal scorers, especially from a midfielder, mate. Obviously, Dele Alli, that's what he thrives upon. Obviously, when he was at MK Dons, and obviously that one season, well, when he first joined for Spurs, he was a goal threat, wasn't he? And I think that's something that's very much dried up in reality of his goals. But if there's one player or manager within the league that can get the best out of Dele Alli, it's most definitely Lampard, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree, mate, because like I said, he's good at bringing young players through, and obviously Lampard has, Ali's got that ability. He still knows the Premier League in and out. He just hasn't had that chance. Maybe either it was an attitude problem or, his ego, but probably I think the media probably got to his head a bit more as well to say that he's a young prospector. Lampard will probably get the best out of him. I think he's probably the right man for him to manage.
Well, to be fair, Tom, I did ask this to everyone else. If there's one transfer for you that's been the best that isn't Christian Eriksen, who would it be?
Alvarez from Man City.
Okay.
He's to be fair, I watch all the I watch all world football. I just sit in the house and just sit there and watch it. But watching him in Argentina, Jesus Christ, what a player he is! He is literally like a mini Suarez.
Well, that's
about 12?
But and well, to be fair, we have another question. Anthony says we could go with a front four to break hard defending teams down. Looking forward to seeing what Diaz can bring. Well, Tom, you were interested in Luis Diaz last year. I haven't really spoken to you about it. What do you think about Luis Diaz, Liverpool? Do you reckon he'll do good?
Yeah, I think he'll slot in like a glove, mate. Regardless of personally, on my sense, I think Liverpool have bought him for the sake, just in case Salah doesn't sign a contract. That's why I think you've brought him in. I think you've been quick to do the business, because I know Spurs were sniffing around him as well. Obviously, we were sniffing around him a bit at the beginning of the season. But for you to get that deal done under closed doors, under wraps, not broadcasted, only broadcasted when you've signed them, is probably the best deal you have done.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. And a little bit of breaking news, anyway, non-Liverpool. Ousmane Dembele is apparently number one target for Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, and I've seen that earlier on before.
He's a Chelsea player through and through, let's be honest. You look at the players he brought in, it just stinks of Dembele.
Well, to be fair, he worked under Tuchel at Dortmund, didn't he? So I think that's why he wants to go back.
Yeah. No,
It's whether he can stay fit though. That's the thing, or we might have to bring out the Dembulance.
Oh no.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Where's Doug gone there?
To be fair, you missed it.
No.
Let me put it back to where it was. But yeah, Ousmane Dembele, reportedly anyway, is going to Chelsea anyway. And as well, there is more breaking news. Apparently, Arsenal made it clear to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang they wouldn't pay any of the salary. So Barcelona said no. So yeah, Arsenal practically told Aubameyang to go and do one. To be fair, anyway. But guys, is there anything else? Has anyone seen anything else before we do head off? Or want to mention anything? Any transfers?
Yeah, just Fabio Carvalho.
For God's sake.
Oh jeez! No, I was about to say, just Spurs have got the two Juventus boys there, haven't they? One on loan with an option to buy, and that Uruguayan, whatever his name is, they just signed him for 20 million.
Well, to be fair, Anthony's put Dembele in, Hudson-Odoi out. Maybe I don't think so.
No, I think Germany's window's closing very, very soon. So they would have to get medical stuff done out here. So no, I don't see it happening.
Hudson-Odoi to the F. You never know.
No chance, lad.
For me, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a player with immense ability, and he's just rotten on Chelsea's academy. Yeah, he's had the injuries in the past, but he's up there with Sancho in terms of if he could. Not that he's proved it yet, but if he could develop a lot more, he's very similar in terms of the ceiling of Sancho. But it's just disappointing yet again. Another young player that's rotted in Chelsea's academy system, and he just needs to play game football, doesn't he?
You look at them when they were kids, don't you? When that World Cup squad, didn't you? I think under 21s or maybe under 18s. When they ended up winning it, Hudson-Odoi was the main talent. There was a massive outcry, wasn't there? When he had to go home, I think, for a family issue. He came in after 2 games in the groups, and everyone was like, "Oh, the team's gonna fall apart." And that's when Sancho got his name out there, because Sancho was unbelievable. But Hudson-Odoi was the main man going into it. It's just, you see a lot with Chelsea. If you don't break into the Premier League team immediately after getting around the age of 21, 22, you fall off and end up in Belgium or somewhere.
Yeah.
We look at Loftus-Cheek. like Loftus-Cheek was getting, probably about 2 seasons ago was getting up there with, he's definitely going to be in Chelsea's team for the future and so on. What a loan spell at Fulham last season, and he hasn't done much since. I don't even know where he is. I think he might still be at Chelsea.
Yeah, he's still at Chelsea.
Yeah,
because we were meant to get him on a loan deal, but obviously because of the rules, we can't sign him.
Yeah, no, it's things like that, isn't it? And as well, I think Chelsea could be buggered next year because I think UEFA are bringing in loan laws, so you can only loan a certain amount of players out. Is it 6, Jack? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6. Well, some stuff in my favourite chocolates like that.
It would fit Villa, St. Anthony. It's one of those ones, isn't it? I think he would suit Bayern Munich to a T or Borussia Dortmund with it, but of course, time will tell with that anyway. But guys, we are going to leave it there because we will be back live at 8 o'clock tonight to speak about, of course, transfer deadline day. Thank you to each and every single one of the panel, which I think we've had some good times, especially Doug not telling any jokes.
I love Doug's jokes. That's what I do. I love jokes.
No, I'm kidding. I love you really, Doug. But look, at the end of the day, guys, Fabio Carvalho. I was going to say Carvalho. The deal is not done. No. I wouldn't mind him, but no, the deal isn't dead yet. There is still rumours that Liverpool are trying everything at the minute anyway to get him done. As soon as it's done or there's any news, we will be live. Or if we are live, of course, we'll bring you the news.
Everyone in the now will be,
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone will be. So, but guys, please feel free to leave a like on the video. It's very much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button. Please go and subscribe to every single one of the lads. I think, to be fair, only Doug and Jack has got one. To be fair, Skulls and Tom, you should start one.
Yeah, Ryan's in the comments. Get Ryan's comment there.
I could.
He's going here. He's his midfielder now.
God.
I thought you were slagging him off all season, lads. Wait, what?
Well, I can slag him off. He hasn't played a single minute.
It's still, it's Ryan, isn't it? No, but we're kidding. But look, guys, please stay safe. Please stay well anyway. Thanks to the lads, like I have said. And, we'll see you at 8 o'clock for a deadline day special anyway. But, yep, please stay safe. Please stay well. And we'll see you all then. Ta-ra.